There are a number of proposals coming down the pipeline for the VeChain and VeChain Thor ecosystem, guys. And in this episode, I'm going to give you some updates of the most recent developments coming from the VeChain Foundation, starting with a vote to implement an upgrade for VeChain and VeChain Thor. Now, the headline, of course, asks, is this bullish? I'm going to give you the answer right away and tell you absolutely. Okay. Let's get into the details of this, guys. According to their Twitter handle, the VeChain Foundation has announced the start of the voting process that will allow the community to decide to implement or reject major updates to their network. The update, Proof of Authority 2.0. This update could usher a new wave of blockchain mass adoption, according to the announcement. The proof of authority upgrade will eliminate the trade offs of the Nakamoto consensus and Byzantine fault tolerance consensus implemented on cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. So, simply put, guys, for previously, VeChain was using a similar consensus mechanism to Bitcoin. The consensus mechanism is basically technological lingo for how decisions get made on the network. Nakamoto consensus and Byzantine fault tolerance, both of them working together, actually creates more friction than anything else. So, the reason why Bitcoin is able to sustain its network using these consensus protocols is because Bitcoin is way bigger. Okay. So, that is why you hear oftentimes about Bitcoin's scalability problem. Thus, we have the Lightning Network coming into the fold to fix that. Now, what this proof of authority upgrade will do for VeChain is essentially move them away from that consensus implementation. As stated, as we continue the article here, it says that if approved via the voting process, the upgrade will enable blockchain VeChain Thor to benefit from a high throughput capability. In addition, the proof of authority upgrade will bring guaranteed data finality to the network to attract more companies and high volume use cases without compromising its security. The VeChain Foundation believes that this update will allow the blockchain VeChain Thor to lead the pack on the road to mass adoption due to the development of many revolutionary technologies. If approved, the Proof of Authority 2.0 will operate as the first combined consensus mechanism. Now, the voting is taking place from October 11th through October 18th, so all of this week. The authority master nodes and economic X nodes will have a 40% voting authority, while the economic nodes will have a 20% voting authority. So, essentially, guys, what this is going to do for VeChain and VeChain Thor is make it just as scalable, just as fast. That's what that word throughput means. That's going to increase the amount of transactions that can happen on the VeChain Thor network. It's going to increase the amount of data that can be transferred on the VeChain network. Now, for VeChain being in the industry that they are in, supply chains, logistics, data management, in order for them to scale and attract more companies, this type of upgrade is necessary. So, is this bullish for VeChain? Abso-freaking-lutely, guys. But there's some more things going on in the VeChain world, guys. And for that, we're going to go over to their Twitter account. As you can see here, they have it pinned, still doing the voting for that. One thing I did want to highlight right here, guys, a leading enterprise blockchain, VeChain, is going to be featured at the Scientific and Technological Information Week in Shanghai, China. This going from October 13th through the 16th is essentially a exhibition of VeChain's technology in one of the most prestigious libraries in Shanghai, guys. Okay, that's what makes this kind of important. VeChain's story is always has been around enterprises, industries, major players coming in. VeChain doesn't just do hackathons or development groups. VeChain goes and sits in the same rooms with public official, guys. That's why I love VeChain. But you can see that on their Twitter they have been First, they announced their NFTs. They have coming NFTs in the form of VinWorld. That's their NFT project. And another thing that they have been doing on their Twitter is just basically re-emphasizing some of their partnerships. In 2019, they partnered with Anhu Tea Industry Association. Tea trade, guys, is a $7 billion industry. In September of 2020, VeChain partnered with China's Animal and Food Safety Alliance that will be implementing the sole public blockchain tech provider, providing technical and infrastructure support for more than 130 council members. Okay. Again, another retweet from June 29th, receiving a AAA enterprise credit evaluation from CAPC. So, guys, when it comes to regulated, approved blockchains coming from China, it is only VeChain. That's the one that they allow to be public knowledge, because there is a list. There is a blockchain services network that has a list of assets that they're focused on. There is another research document that I've covered in a video on this channel before that YouTube actually didn't let me publish. If you want to watch that, it's on library. But every time I go to research China and VeChain, it is very, very thin waters, guys, because a lot of the VeChain updates, you can only find them in Chinese publications, or unless they post it on Twitter or their Medium. But that's what adds strength to VeChain, guys. And another retweet here, Shanghai changing, and Huang Pu district government reps made a visit to the VeChain office. These are district government representatives, guys. And we all have seen all year how the Chinese government handles things. And if they're sending direct representation to the offices of VeChain, not to mention PricewaterhouseCoopers, guys, is one of the biggest companies in China. Okay. So as you can see here, this is how VeChain is being used in China. And this is also an example of how China sees VeChain. Okay. So another thing I wanted to give you guys before we get out of here is this unusual whale activity coming from VeChain. 26.94 BTC in 49 seconds. That means that the transaction was the equivalent of 26.9 BTC in one move. How much of that is in US dollars, guys? We're talking $1.4 million in 50 seconds. That means that was one transaction, one large transaction coming into VeChain, guys, in the last 2 days. So that's courtesy of Whale Sniper. What does that mean? Yeah, some more money is coming into VeChain, guys. People are buying. Now, I'm going to leave you with this interesting one. It's the Blockchain Life Awards for 2021. VeChain is also a part of this awards. Now, I've never heard of this awards. It's happening in Moscow right now. So we're dealing with the Russian market. And they basically have an award show for the best blockchains, the best cryptos in the space. They have Blog of the Year, best centralized exchange, best crypto media, best decentralized exchange, best NFT platform, best alternative blockchain, best blockchain implementation company. This is where it gets kind of interesting, guys. Waves Enterprises. Now that I'm starting to hear that name a lot more. Waves is on Abra. So if you are familiar with Waves, you want to get involved, that's how you can do that. Me and my buddy, we were talking about Waves earlier in the year when that thing was at $3, guys. Now it's at 27. And as time has progressed and as things unfold and information has come out, now I understand. Okay. And they're receiving rewards. And they're right next to VeChain. Okay. Followed by Axie Infinity and Solve.care. Now, this is another one that I believe is on Abra. If not, though, this Solve.care is focused around, of course, the medical field, healthcare technology. And of course, we got Cello there, guys. So I just found it interesting to see these things. Best breakthrough of 2021, El Salvador, Dogecoin, Polygon, okay, Axie Infinity. That's going to be very hard between El Salvador and Axie Infinity. But I just thought this was interesting, guys, because I was not aware of these type of things going on. And this is what VeChain does, the things that people aren't aware of. So when it comes to future tech, guys, VeChain is ahead of the pack right now. And I'm really looking forward to this upgrade because it, like I said, will make VeChain and VeChain Thor faster, more scalable, increased throughput, which means that more data and more logistics can be handled on the VeChain blockchain, guys. So, with all that being said, if you found value in this video, guys, of course, you know what to do. Hit the like button as well as subscribe so that way you never miss an update on global crypto adoption with that global perspective. And stay tuned to the channel today, guys. I have a very special investigation into DigiByte's most recent update, most recent acquisition, okay? DigiCorp Labs, Atom ID, and the World Economic Forum. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss that video. But with all that being said, guys, I want you to have a great day. Have a prosperous day. Most importantly, make that money. And don't let nobody stop you either. I'll see y'all in the next one.